Whoa, well, we're back with some Bleach Soul Resonance, and we're going to be talking about a few things here on the Reddit, going over some in-game stuff, and just catching up on details for this week, questions, answers, mega thread, etc., etc. So let's just get right into it. Version, rewards, announcement, permanent SSR selector, and limited 10 pulls. Dear Substitute Soul Reapers, to thank you for this continued support, we've prepared multiple version rewards for the upcoming update. Simply log in to claim these rewards. You can see that we're getting a permanent SSR selector via in-game mail, which means you just need to get on February the 13th and you will have this. We're also getting 10 pulls, both stamp gacha and recruitment, which means one weapon, one character. So that's pretty sweet. And we're going to go into the actual game so we can take a look at what you might want to actually pull for. Because, you know, obviously, you know, it's not just an easy choice to be like, hey, you know, pull for Komamura, pull for this, pull for that, right? We should probably get into what you might even think of these materials. So I have Byakuya pulled up here. If you happen to like Byakuya, then maybe you want one dupe of him. When Byakuya releases his ultimate, he immediately gains 30% spiritual pressure. Right now, if you have an unduped Byakuya, one of the issues he has is when he goes into his ultimate, he gets an extra a bonus attack tied to his basic attack, which he can actually press and hold his basic attack, and spiritual pressure will just sort of ooze out of his hand, and he'll just be doing a ton of damage, and you can actually switch out during this, and you don't have to worry about, you know, swapping him in and out, getting basic attacks in, doing his technique, etc., etc. Instead, he'll just go right into it. You use technique, and then use spiritual pressure, and it's all good. Next character is Komamura. If you're someone who wants to plan for a possible strike buff, maybe with Grimjaw, maybe with, you know, Sayuri or Mayuri, or not Sayuri, Soifon or Mayuri coming up, then maybe Komamura looks better to you. While Komamura's shield is active, the shielded character's crit damage is increased by 40%, barring any substantial buffs to the actual category, in this case, you know, strike. We could see Komamura be pretty valuable because his on-screen like animation time is not super high, but compared to other characters, he probably contributes the least amount of on-field immediate damage. He does reduce slash or strike resistance pretty consistently, especially if you have his weapon, I believe it up. Yeah, strike resistance there. And is it his core stamp as well do this? And strike resistance of all enemies. Yeah, so he wouldn't be a bad choice. I think the crit damage is lovely, and again, you're getting this for free, so it's not that big of a deal, depending on who you want to spend it on. I think another great choice, if I haven't already gone over him, is actually Tosin. If you really like Tosin, if you're like the Gin team, then this can only stand to be very powerful. Tosin is one of those characters who always does a ton of damage, and if we're being honest, unless Nellel ends up being a thrust tactics character, then I don't see thrust getting updated for quite a bit of time. You have to look at the categories as they are. Slash, Nellel might be Slash, so she could be another character. Thrust got Gin, and the team just seems bonkers. Tosin, I don't know if they know this in-house or if it just is what it is, but Tosin seems to be far and away one of the best standard characters, period. And I have to imagine they know that, because he seemed crazy in the betas, he seemed crazy on release, he seems crazy now, and yeah, my opinion of him only grows and grows as I get more gear on him, as I slowly build up his repertoire. So yeah, I think he'll be around for quite a bit longer. I think before we see a character replace Tosin, we're going to see another like thrust or slash support. We're probably going to see another like an SSR thrust support, I'd imagine. We're probably going to see a tactics strikes support as well as an SSR primary support. Like, I could see it. The only characters I wouldn't really recommend it for is this character, Yoruichi. While it could be cool to get a, you know, big and bad Yoruichi, I just don't see it as being super necessary. And Ikaku, I mean, if you don't have Gin and you're still running Ikaku, I don't know. Like, Ikaku's my dog. I think he's a really cool character in universe, but last but not least, I think that Yudahara could be one, and this seems to be the one people are going with in general. This seems pretty good if you're already one dupe in Reishi analysis, giving extra slash damage, I guess. Like I said, if you're a dupe or two in already, this could be good if you're really far in, and this could be good if you're really far in. But like I said, for one slash damage bonus off of this, you know, I think it's just okay. I don't know. I think you need two to really make it meaningful. I mean, 15% more damage for 6 seconds is crazy, right? It's crazy. Next up, we're going to talk about the full build material breakdown for character skills and stamps. We've got ROM Arc here coming in with the information, which is very cool. Go ahead and give this an upvote or what have you when it comes to, sharing information in the community. It's always nice to see someone on their P's and Q's, but materials needed to fully max one character to, max 100, level 100, weapon and character, skills level 9, passive boosts, and stamps. So in total, spiritual power need is 6,700. With a natural regen in mind, you can see that it takes about 21.8 days if all things are sort of equal, right? This is very impressive by the devs if it's like on purpose, but otherwise, as they say, coincidence would make this very funny, seeing as it seems so plotted out. This is another reason, and as I said before, this is another reason that if you think that buffing characters isn't saving stamina, isn't saving Jade, if you think that the new tower mode that is like a trial mode, getting the resources isn't meaningful, isn't essentially giving you Jade, I don't know what to tell you. I've seen a lot of people, and I heard Giku talking about this, where apparently people are sad that tower mode doesn't give Jade directly. And if you're mad about that, you're an insane person. I mean, do you want them to... I mean, they could have put the Jade in there from other sources, I guess, but the game is free to play as fuck. So I don't really know why they would need to just put the Jade in there to make it feel better. Doesn't it already feel great that you're getting 2,100 stamina and 2 million gold and hundreds of stamina in leveling materials? Like, I don't know, like I said, gear as well, 36 nourishers worth of gear gained by, like, I don't know, I guess I don't see the problem. I don't need it to have Jade. Jade is bountiful in this game. If you don't have Jade at all, I don't know where it went. I don't know if maybe you just don't log on, you just don't get things done. You're just, maybe you're not watching the videos, either mine or Giku or someone else in the community, but I could skip one character and get the next 4. Like, it's crazy, right? Like, I don't know how people are like this desperate for Jade, unless you're trying to dupe every character you get, which is crazy if you're free to play. I mean, not in this game, not in any gacha, is it really worth trying to chase dupes if you're free to play, unless you solely save up for one character to dupe that character. But if you do that, then you shouldn't be complaining about not getting Jade for, the next character after them. That's not how that works. You're saving to do these pulls to spend the Jade, and then you'll accumulate the Jade again. I don't know where people's like Jade deficit is coming from, and I'm not even on no glaze shit right now. I'm just like, they're giving us everything. You said in his last video, like, I'm not even glazing, I'm just telling you what's in front of you. Like, at some point you have to imagine that, like, me saying good things about the game is just me literally telling you what's happening. I'm just telling you they're giving us more Jade than we could want when it comes to pulling characters as free to play. I'm just telling you that they're observably giving us more rewards and more stamina than we could want after this last patch. Like, it's just the truth of the matter, especially if you've played any other gacha recently. My God, they're not this nice. You know what's crazy? Bleach Soul Resonance is being nicer to me than the 11th anniversary of Dokkan Battle. We're in an anniversary for Dokkan right now, and I've made more just playing a random ass Kenpachi celebration than I have doing the content in Dokkan Battle, I think. Like, it's not even fucking close, right? Especially with like a pity that's so lenient in this game. No way is it close. It's crazy. And the worst part is, when you get a character in Dokkan Battle at 50% or 55%, they're like good, but they're like a far cry from the actual like upper limits of like a rainbowed character in this game. Because there's like gear, you're 55% quote unquote, your boundary zero character can look really fucking strong. You know, I don't know what to say, but yeah, here's the list if you want to go over it anymore. 21.8 days required, which is very cute, very round number for the dev there. But let's get into the weekly questions mega thread. We'll do a few of these because this video is already like 10 minutes long. But Comprehensive Toe, again, thank you for the weekly questions mega thread. Thank you for the mods. This is a good thing for this sub, of course. Ultimate charge or ailment damage for B0 Kenny. Ultimate charge or attack for B0 Ichi. Let me read this because I'm curious. I remember rotating between both on my Kenny account. And by the way, my impression is ailment. And honestly, just think it depends. But I would lean towards ailment because you can get Gein's Bond if you use ailment in third piece. With the new buffs, Kenny ults much faster than before. True. For Ichigo, definitely ult charge. I agree with this, by the way. Ult charge is extremely powerful. I think the only thing about ult charge is that ult charge on DPSs can feel lackluster for free to play, I think, because we're not getting the bonus stats from, you know, or bonus like damage percentages from boundarying characters, which means that we're not getting the, you know, percentages from getting weapons up, from getting core stamps up, possibly from getting, you know, a bunch of boundaries and the dupes in the character skills and like, you know, +3 to skills and things like that. So I do think that ult charge might be better, but I will say that damage usually, like flat damage usually just feels better to play, if that makes sense. But yeah, I suspected already that ailment damage for B0 Kenny would be my choice. He gets his ult now, like it's really not a problem. What player level need to ascend character level cap to 80? It's 60, right? Oh yeah, currently my characters are 66 and counter 60. Yeah, it's 60. What's everyone's top 3 fruits? Yeah, we're locking in. Top 3 fruit. I'm gonna go ahead and say mango, banana. Bananas are so good. The problem with like bananas is people are like, oh, bananas are so like, you know, whatever. Bananas are always there for you, dog. You can get them at any time of the year and they're gonna be pretty good. You know, you don't have to deal with out of season whack ass, you know, watermelons and strawberries and shit. Bananas are always just goated. Period. And then I think strawberries are the ones I eat the most after that. What is a permanent gacha character and stamp priority? Is it more worthy to buy characters or summons from advanced ticket exchange? I would try to get one of each standard character that isn't Ikaku if you can. And worthy to buy characters or summons from advanced ticket exchange. I mean, let's go in there real quick just to check. Advanced ticket exchange, huh? Let's go in there. So let's refresh my memory. Do I ever buy characters from this? No. I feel like, to me, advanced ticket exchange is good for whales. It helps them easily, you know, dupe their characters. But I'm not looking to pull boundary 6 standard characters, because every time I do this, I'm not pulling on the premium banner. And I know you could be like, well, it's just 1 or 2 every time, but like, that's not true, right? One second. Sorry, I just had to, you know, make sure I wasn't talking to my ass. This is 40 summons you're missing, right? If you save your tickets and you never buy a ticket, aren't you missing 40 tickets just to get 1 boundary? I'm sorry, dog. 40 tickets is a weapon stamp. I'm good. I'm good personally. I don't maybe I'm tripping, but I'm good on that. Like, I would buy summons personally. I don't know. I'm missing Sajin and I have Kisuke B1. Who should I pick from the ticket? Sajin to give me a base to build a future strike team, or Kisuke B2 for extra damage. If you're gonna summon for Grimjaw, I would get Sajin. Here's like another thing though, is we could talk about this is, here we go. Do you actually need Sajin if you have Aizen, right? And I don't know what this person's account looks like. So I can't say for sure. Do you actually need Sajin though if you have Aizen? No. Because Tosin covers thrust, Nelel in, you know, a few weeks might cover Slash, and if not, then Byakuya covers Slash. And I mean, if you're in a position where you need Aizen on a team for Spirit or Strike, then you can run Aizen with your Strike team and then run Rukia, who is a fine character, on your Spirit team and just like tank the loss. But like, do I think that like, do you need Komamura in that case? I don't think so. Especially because I think by the time we sort of start talking like longevity, like you're gonna miss out on a ticket, and Kisuke is gonna stay around. I think Kisuke's gonna stay relevant. Sajin's gonna stay relevant as long as there's not a new Strike Tactics character, and I think we're closer to a new Strike Tactics support than we are to Kisuke Urahara being irrelevant. Does that make sense? So while I would say it's fine if you do want to go with a Komamura ticket here, especially if you know, not that I know that this person's listening, but if anyone's listening and has this conundrum, we're closer to a new Komamura coming out than we are to Kisuke being an irrelevant character. And I think that's full stop. I think Kisuke is going to stay good until the fucking sun freezes. I can't believe they gave him crit damage on his ultimate. You know what I mean? And he's not taking up the tactics slot. So he's just a support. And he's a general support. He's just bonus damage. Like, I don't know. That's just me. Is Byakuya or Rukia better for Kenny? This person must be new. Byakuya by far. Maybe you could also mean... No, because it's... What they're asking is about a tactics character. It's Byakuya. Rukia is fine, but I think she's just fine. Byakuya I would call good, but he's just good. I don't think he's great or anything. And in that case, he's better for Kenny. Slash resist... maybe Rukia gives spirit damage bonus when she gets boundaries, right? So it's not even... Doesn't even contribute that. Whereas Byakuya does actually lower slash resistance or boost slash damage. What is a good strike team without Sajin? I'm currently running Aizen, Yoruichi, Kisuke. However, my Aizen is missing his weapon stamp. I started playing at the end of his run and missed it. I feel like that is the best you can go for. Yeah. But fortunately, there will be a free permanent SSR selector bonus, so you can pick up Sajin from there. Again, if you are someone who is missing Sajin and you have the opportunity to maybe get a stronger character or, you know, get put in a stronger position, maybe you want a Kisuke dupe, maybe you want a Byakuya dupe, maybe you want, you know, etc., a Tosen dupe. I do think Komamura is closer to being phased out entirely than other characters are. That's just me. Not having Aizen's weapon stamp is really fucking tough though, so, you know, maybe, but it just ends up being another character to build, but it does free up your Aizen to be on other teams. So it's something to consider. Attack percent or ailment for B2 Kenny if I can at least 60% ailment. If I do attack percent with 50... you want ailment, right? Yeah, it's a cleave ailment. That's his highest damage source. So yeah, you do want ailment. My Kenny is currently missing a little bit of ailment. That's currently the thing I'm working on if I'm working on anything with that character. And so we'll probably do a little run through back again once we actually get him boosted. But yeah, I think we can round up pretty soon. Let's do this last one. I have Gin, Tosen, and Rangiku team only. I also got Byakuya and Yoruichi. I was planning to just save for a future gear before summoning. In the meantime, who should I get for the SSR selector coming next week? So you have a Thrust team. You also have Byakuya and Yoruichi. I would say that in this case, it's Kisuke. Oh, okay, you don't have Kisuke. Okay, okay. I thought in my head, guys, in my head, everyone has Kisuke. It's so crazy. It's obviously Kisuke. I was gonna say that if you have Kisuke, because everyone should have Kisuke. I don't know how anyone misses Kisuke in their first, like, you know, 40 pulls on the selector banner. Maybe is that not up anymore? If you join the game now, do you not get that up anymore? Okay. I got Byakuya, Yoruichi. Yeah, it should be Kisuke. If it's not Kisuke in this setting, by the way, there's not a good slash alternative if you don't have Kenpachi. Because you won't have Bankai Ichigo because you didn't start the game. And, I mean, you could build Shikai Ichigo, but we might be getting Nell, who could just end up replacing Byakuya. So, So I think in that case you go Kumamura, but yeah, it's Kisuke. That's crazy. I was really like, obviously it's someone else. Starting an account and not having Kisuke is wild work to me. It's Wild West type shit. I'm not gonna lie. But you know, everyone is entitled to do their own thing. But damn, this guy is really good. Okay, that's enough yaps though. That's enough yaps for today. Like if you like the video, subscribe to the club. I've been Lone, and peace.